Hello and welcome back to our garden here in Norfolk and the No Dig Norfolk Gardener channel. Sprouts, they're one of those things that come into their own at this time of the year. Everybody seems to associate them with Christmas, but actually sprouts can be harvested for quite a large proportion of the year. If you grow the right varieties, you can be harvesting sprouts from September right the way through to March the following year. Now the variety is Brody, and we've probably been growing this for the last 3 seasons. Sprouts actually mature from the bottom upwards, so pick them from the bottom and then it will hasten the harvesting and swelling of the sprouts further up the stem. Now in today's video we are doing the last garden tour of the year, December 2022. Got a bit of harvesting to do, but most importantly we want to have a look and just see how the recent really cold snap with all the freezing cold weather has affected our plants. Now, as I'm sure you're all well aware of, some more than others, but it has been really cold in the UK here lately. You can see today it's more like the weather is in December for us. It's very misty, dank and dreary. We've got some drizzle and it's about 7 degrees here. And that's usually what Decembers are like here. They're not normally as cold as what we experienced in the first 2 weeks of the month. But then we don't really get hugely mild days in December, like the dizzying heights of 14 degrees or something. So we are about right for where we should be here and now. Now, of course, with the milder weather, we can actually begin to harvest some fresh carrots from our garden. I do want a parsnip for today. And for things like parsnips, of course, the really cold, frosty weather doesn't really harm them at all. In fact, if anything, it does them a bit of good because it sweetens them up. Same with the sprouts that you saw us picking at the beginning of the video. The thaw has meant that we can begin to harvest root vegetables again in their fresh state. Now, the purple sprouting broccoli. The last time that you saw this, the leaves were almost on the ground. They'd been frozen so hard. And I remember saying to you in the last video that, you know, these plants, this is their time of year. This is when they either harvest or they're meant to be growing. And you can see they've recovered really well with the leaves. Lovely once again. And we have lots and lots of spears beginning to come ready for harvest on this plant. Now it is time for me to cut this central head, and I shall do that a bit later because I can see that in the middle it's not going to be long before it actually wants to think about breaking out into flower. So now's the time to have that central head, which will hasten the harvest of the rest of the plant and bring yet more spears into play. But looking at this, I'm quite confident Actually, can have some nice purple sprouting broccoli on Christmas Day. So we still have celeriac to harvest. We did take some before the really harsh weather came and have them down in our outbuildings to store. But as I say, now that the colder weather has gone and we're not freezing anymore, we can now start to harvest this and harvest this a bit more regularly. And of course, our leeks. We still have leeks. Leeks are largely unaffected by big frosts. They'll just stay there in the ground and do what they do, and you can just pick them as and when you actually need them. Now, you may remember earlier on in the year when we sowed our garlic, beginning of October, we sowed some in some tubs. There they are, you can see they've come through. And it'll be interesting to see what they look like when it comes to harvest time. I suspect they won't be as large as the ones that we actually have in the greenhouse or the polytunnel or outside, but it just goes to show you that you can grow these things in these plant pots should you need to if you don't have the space. Now, as you know, as we got to the end of October, we suddenly got some very late blight with our potatoes, and we ended up having to cut all the haulms down. Now, the thing is, we're growing potatoes that you want to harvest for Christmas to have some nice fresh new potatoes, is that from year to year, sometimes you get a good harvest, sometimes it's not so good. It's a bit of fun more than anything else. Nothing that we need to take too seriously. If it pays off, we get some lovely new potatoes to eat on Christmas Day or that period, late December. So, as promised, I'm going to empty this bucket. We'll see what we've got. I rather think we don't have a lot, given that we had to cut them down so early. But nevertheless, let's have a look. So these are the Zere. Well, it wasn't such a disaster, Mrs. W, was it?
Brilliant.
It could have been better, I don't deny. But actually, we can have some nice little new potatoes, can't we?
We can. There's still some in the other in the bucket.
Yeah, I can see, yeah. I'm just going through this first. There we are. So it's actually not the biggest harvest in the world, but it is a welcome one. And actually, if we hadn't have got the blight, they'd have probably got to quite a nice size, wouldn't they? Yeah, you see the skins peel off. And it doesn't actually really matter so much that some of them are a bit on the small side, because we want to eat them as new potatoes anyway. So these are the Maris pear, and if you remember, we put 4 potatoes in here. Oh yes, they're all right. Yeah, they scrape. My gloves are dirty, obviously, but the skins do scrape. And again, these got the old blight, so they had to be cut down. The haulms fairly early, had barely been in these tubs for 6 weeks before we needed to, as I say, cut the haulms down due to the late blight arriving. So I think we can be quite pleased really with what we've got. I think that we're going to have some gammon steaks this evening, so actually a few new potatoes with those. Going to be really quite nice, aren't they? Oh yes, we haven't finished yet. You're still getting them, yeah. So, we can safely say that we shall be enjoying some nice new little potatoes over the festive period. Now, I've had to come back indoors because it's absolutely chucking it down a rain out there and we can film no more outside. Actually, what I was trying to say, the message I was trying to convey over to you guys is that the vegetables that you have growing outside now, regardless whether they're coming to their harvest now or whether they're overwintering for a harvest next year in 2023, it is those plants' time. They are meant to be out there in this freezing cold weather, whether it be frosts, snow, rain, sleet, really doesn't matter to them. They will do their thing and you'll get your harvests. You've seen out there with the purple sprouting broccoli that it's there, it's ready. And yet it wasn't that long ago, what was it, a week and a bit ago when we were filming and the leaves were almost on the floor because they'd been frozen so hard. But they're okay. Now, what I did just want to say is a really, really big thank you to you all. Our channel on YouTube has performed really, really well. In fact, YouTube sent me some statistics through the other day for 2022. So for this year, we have actually had 56.8 thousand views on the channel. That's amazing from our little garden here in Norfolk. There's been 308,000 watch time minutes. I'll let you do the maths to know how many hours, but it's a lot. Thanks to you guys liking our channel, we've had over 4,000 likes this year on our YouTube channel. And something that we always sort of say on our videos, you know, if you like what we do, then please give us a thumbs up. And if you'd like to subscribe, don't forget to hit the little red button down below there. But actually, many of you have done, because this year, up to now, we have had 996 subscribers. So a big thank you to you all. Now, I know that one or two of you do know that in a previous life, I was an Elvis Presley tribute artist. And I don't particularly do it anymore. Getting a bit past that now. But my youngest daughter, she has taken over the mantle. Sasha Marie. Now, you often hear me talk about her because, as I say, she's off at university. And so that's one of the reasons why myself and Mrs. W are here all on our own these days, a lot of the time. But she is studying music and performance. And she came back about a week or so ago and said, can you help us, or can you help me do a video? I want to do a Christmas video to put out there on my YouTube channel. So, of course we can, and that's exactly what we did. Now, it's a great video, and I do make a little cameo in it, so if you want to see Elvis in her video, then head on over to that channel. What I'll do is I'll drop a link down into the description, so please have a click on that and have a watch. Yeah, give us some likes, that'll be really great. And if you like the music, subscribe to our channel and click that bell just as you do for our channel, and then whenever she uploads something, you'll be the first to know. She doesn't upload on a regular basis like ourselves. As I say, she is away at university for most of the year, but she does like to make her music, and when we go and watch her live, when she's doing her shows at various pubs and clubs and wedding venues that she goes to, she'll often upload something from that show onto her channel. And you know, most of it was filmed, this latest video, most of it was filmed either in our house or in the back garden or in the front garden or our next door neighbour's garden, and he has the most amazing Christmas light display in his front garden. Believe me, it is worth clicking on that just to see that alone. But you will very much enjoy Sasha Marie's step into Christmas. It has been a magnificent year. When I look back at it, when I think of the start, we had compost that wasn't very good, and most of the work we did in the first 2 months of sowing seed and getting it out there on YouTube to you, we suddenly had to repeat that all over again during March because that compost was not great and the seedlings just failed. But nevertheless, we still got them. We still got our onions, we still got our aubergines, we still got our tomatoes, we still got our peppers and chilies. All those things that we sowed back there then. Then of course, like you guys, we had to deal with the baking hot sun and weather that we had late July and through August. And of course, more recently, the really harsh frosts and weather that we've had during the first 2 weeks of December. And it just goes to show you, you can plant your things and you can bring a harvest on. We work with the weather and you plant the right things at the right time, you will get that harvest and you will get things. Will everything always work? No, it won't always work. They don't even for us, and we've been growing our vegetables for many, many years. Or as me and Mrs. W always like to say, it's a great life. Eating your homemade vegetables, making your own food with your vegetables. Now, we shall be taking the next 2 to 3 weeks off. It is the festive season. We've got lots of family coming to see us, and we've got to go and visit lots of family too, which we're really, really looking forward to. After all, as someone once said, what's his name, Holder? It's Christmas! So, yeah, we shall see you early in the new year, so keep an eye out for that first video that comes out of the new year. And I guess you always see me here, but what I would like to do is just to say there is a team. There's myself and there's Poppy. No, there is myself, there is Poppy, and there's Scylla, and there's Pepper. But there is one person that you never ever get to see because she's always behind that camera. And I edit the bits out where she tells me what to do, and I've said something wrong, and I do that quite often. One of these days I shall bring out a bloopers video for you to see. Because you'll be amazed how many mistakes I actually do make. But come along, Mrs. W, we need to show you to these people.
Hello.
And what we would like to actually just say to you is, again, a big thank you for subscribing to our channel in the first place, watching our channel, giving us your likes and your comments. Your comments mean so much to us. We really do like getting your comments and answering them back. But until January of 2023, Merry Christmas!